Tanks play a huge role on Sword of Kambalaria, and right now in the game for free, we get one of the best, if not the best tank against magic damage. And it's not Mytha, it's not the Necessar, it is actually Suppression. So today we're gonna be talking a little bit about how to properly build him and why he's so damn good. Hello the internet, welcome back to the Waifus. I'm Sefhi. Today our talk is going to be Suppression, how to properly build him, all his skills, and why he works so well. Even in the Taiwanese server and the Chinese version, a lot of people still use this guy for some of the endgame bosses that deal pure magical damage because how much he can actually tank. Not even attacking, not doing anything, just putting him on the back line so all of the AoE attacks can target him and just do that, right? Just tank the damage and the rest of your team focus on dealing damage to the boss. So let's talk about this guy before we start. Leave a like, subscribe, help me grow the channel as usual. And let's get started first with his trait because it's really important. His trait does multiple things, but we only care about one for this video, and that is the first line. Magical damage taken is decreased by 15%. And you see that this is only with three dupes. When we actually get him to full dupes, which you should be able to, most of these characters long term we will get them to 5 stars, right? He will actually get magical damage taken is decreased by 20%, which is huge, right? Even if you were only to get him at 1 star, it's 10%, 5 stars, 20%. The good spot will be 3 stars, it's a 15% already, which is pretty nice. The rest of the trade lines, we do not care as much. He will take attacks for your allies and do a preemptive attack, but that doesn't really matter because most of the time he's not even going to be close to the enemies. He is for AoE magical damage bosses. So let's talk about his kit, his skills, and why he is so damn good. So first of all, the arcade one does not really matter. You can pick whatever you prefer here. One with Resolve, which will recover 5% HP when someone dies, but this is not important. Again, the first one doesn't really matter. This activates only one time per battle, in fact, so I would even say you can ignore Resolve and you could go Sharpen Blade, but both are useless. You're not using any of them. Sharpen Blade, when performing an active attack, damage increases by 10%, and when the character strikes back, it's increased by a further 30%. Now, this does not matter, right? This is just pick whatever you want, doesn't really matter, just to start with something, pick this skill if you want. RK3 is when things start getting really interesting because his skill, the Bolt Guard, this is a healing skill that will remove 3 debuffs. This dispels 3 debuffs, recovers 40% HP, and then he gains physical and magical defense too. And not only that, but he will also increase the trait effects by 200% for 2 turns, and this cannot be dispelled or immunized. Now again, he is improving his own trait, so this 15% is going to be increased by 200%, which is crazy. Once again, that is why he is so good, because this type of passives he constantly gets through his skill tree. Now when it comes to the other skill, which is Demon Shield, you can completely ignore this 100%. It does not matter. You could take this long term if you wanted to get like a proper skill for him to reduce the attack, since this would also reduce the magic attack by 20% on the enemy if you wanted to, but I would not take it at the beginning. And also most likely you're going to be pulling for SSR tanks, so using one of your Castalias for him is not that smart, I will say. If you like him though, go for that. Now let's move into RK5, and when things keep getting even better because his new passive is defense. When hit by an active magical attack, the damage taken is decreased by an extra 15%. He keeps getting these damage reductions for magical damage, and that's what makes him so damn good. When it comes to the other skill, once again, counter-attack, you can completely ignore this one. Counter-attack is not a bad skill, but the reality is that if you keep stacking that magic damage reduction percentage, it is 1,000 times better than just going for this counter-attack. And now we go into RK7, and this is when things get a little bit tricky, because on the right side, you have a leader's aura for Papal State characters. If you're building a team around Papal State characters, you want to get this, but you also want to get the other skill. So this aura will increase attack by 10% and defense by 20%. But Flagellant, this gains 1 stack of penance, which will decrease damage taken by 8%, but you can stack this 3 times and this cannot be dispelled. Not only that, but every time the round finishes, right, you do your attack, round finishes, if you have a penance active, you will recover one RNG or energy. I swear to God, I don't know why they call it RNG. Just call it energy, sir. It's not that hard. So you will recover one energy every time you have Penance active, which it should be every single damage. This should have a 100% uptime, all right? Because you're gonna be taking damage all the time since he is your tank. Now, the leader's aura, it's a pity, right? And I will say, yes, you could take both of them theoretically, depending on your team composition and what you're doing, but I do firmly believe Flagellant is a lot better. And now let's move into Arcanine, and this is his last skill. Remember that every time you go into level 9, it's always a passive attack. That's what you're getting, and he gets 2 of them. He's getting first one that deals 100% physical damage and recovers 1 energy, and then he's doing an armor piercing strike, which deals 100% physical damage and also inflicts physical and magical defense down for 2 turns. Honestly, pick whatever you want. It doesn't matter. If you want to pick this one for the extra energy, you can, since you will be recovering 2 energy per turn as long as you have Penance and you are attacking, which is huge. If you wanted to take this one, the armor piercing one, you can as well, but I will go for this, because if you go for invigorating strike and you go for Flagellant, you could be theoretically spamming also your Demon Shear pretty often every time the cooldown is off, and it's a pretty low cost as well with only 2. So he has a lot of skills that are making him a really good tank. I am thinking of actually changing him for Mytha for a lot of my content, because I really like him. I do not want to build a team around the Papal States, even though I could be making one if I get Beryl. Beryl, we have it already. If I get Cole and if I get someone else, we might be able to build a team, but I'm not the biggest fan of this faction personal. Now, when it comes to the equipment, Sefhi, you never recommend equipment for characters or what to put specifically. Why you don't recommend equipment? Well, this is a pretty simple thing. This is random. It doesn't matter what I recommend right now, because no one has all of the pieces unlocked. You should be using what you have available right now. Right now, we are not going to be getting a lot of really good weapons or trinkets or even tarot cards. So just make use of what you have. For example, I am just using random pieces of tarot on all my characters, and I got really lucky with Beryl, getting this piece of here with this Verdict of Justice, increasing crit by 15%, and I got both passives right now, SSRs right here, or legendary, whatever you want to call them, with magic attack on a really good roll, 77 and 73. I'm going to be adding on the website when it's back up, because website is still not working. As far as I know, yes, we get the privacy error. I'm waiting for the website to be updated and get the new SSL certificate. So again, just wait for a couple hours, should be up. Hopefully by the time this video is published, website is back and running. But I'm gonna be adding all of the min rolls and max rolls you can get on every single piece of tarot and what date. So if you like that as well, link in the description as usual. But right now you'll be able to use whatever you have available, nothing else. There's gonna be so many pieces that you don't have enough to build a proper team because of the substats or because what you're getting is not good enough. So don't worry too much and use what you have. If you want recommendations for specific pieces of gear, for specific tarot pieces, just wait until we update the website with that information as well, and not only the recommended skills, but that will take some time. But that is gonna be the build for this guy Suppression and why he is so damn good. Once again, I would recommend, guys, if you have him, to build him. He's one of the characters you will get with the Voyage Memento missions, so he is completely free. We get dupes as well for free, which makes sense to build. Now, when it comes to Mytha versus this guy, I will also go Suppression versus Mytha, but I like Mytha. I think she's really cute, so I'm building her for now. I might switch, I might even run double tank. I'll see what I do. But for now, I'm just gonna keep leveling him up and see what gear I decide to end up on this character. That's gonna be for this one though. Let me know if this build is useful. I'm gonna be making more build guides for different characters. For example, Divine Grace is gonna be one of the next ones. I need to level him up because we do have resources. I just don't know how many characters I wanna be leveling up at the moment. So that's it. That's gonna be for this video, guys. Thank you to my patrons for making this content possible. As usual, love you all, bosses. Any questions you might have about this character or any characters, feel free to leave a comment down below. Good luck with your pool generates, and see you in the next one.
役立たずは楽園から追放するのみ。ブランとノワールのショータイムです。天地万物を切るとはこういうことだ。